Welcome back to EDM Yoga, where we practice yoga on and off of the mat. In this sound healing meditation, we are going to minimize to maximize, releasing our need to reach for external things and actively thinking about what we can let go of to allow more of the new frequency in. Allow yourself to get super mega comfortable. Set your setting, light some incense, and lay down on your back in a supported corpse pose.
How beautiful it is to become present to what is happening right here, right now, on this beautiful timeline. And now start to notice the eyelids. Turn the eye gaze inwards and upwards to the third eye space. Flutter the eyelids. The eyelids flutter, 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 flutter. Eye gazes inwards and upwards to the third eye. And you start to notice the seat of your soul perspective. Tap in, tune in right into that third eye space. Keep the flutter. Keep tapping in, tuning in all of your brain waves like butterfly wings. Flutter, flutter, flutter. Third eye space. Keep it up. Keep going. And then take a big deep breath in. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Hold the breath, release the eyes. Let the eyes rest in the sockets. Keep holding the breath. Audible exhale, H-A, ha. Clear away, release, let go, get all the air out, 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 out. Holding the breath at the bottom, feeling into this moment, feeling universal source energy within and around you. Breathing in, filling up, noticing the breath as it comes into the body, noticing the expansion. Holding the breath at the top. As you're ready, audible exhale, clear away, release, let go. Holding the breath at the bottom, feeling this moment. Inhale, breathing in beautiful, loving, healing energy, filling all the way up more than you think you can. Breathe in, 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 hold. Audible exhale, clear away, let go, any last bits of anything you no longer need, even that little last push. Hold the breath. Notice the clear space that you've created. Notice the blank canvas that is your life. And allow the next breath in to be a neutral breath, an easy, flowing, involuntary breath. Allow your body to sink deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the surface beneath you. Feeling so safe and so supported. Knowing that all of this, everything that's going on within your life, this whole game of life that you're playing, the avatar that is you, this human that you've identified your soul with at this time, on this timeline, recognizing all of it from your most playful perspective. Take a moment from the seat of the soul to just look at yourself from the upper left-hand corner of the room. Allow yourself to feel so safe, so supported. And as you soften deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, you start to realize that the key to manifestation isn't just about identifying where you want to go in your GPS. And I want to get to this thing, I want to manifest this thing, and then I'll be happy. What it's really about is about expanding your capacity to be able to receive the things that you're wanting. Because the miracles are all around you. And your soul perspective can always see all of the gems and all of the miracles and all of the things that are literally right in front of you. But sometimes the human self is calibrated to a lower timeline and can't even see the beautiful things that are all around. And from that place of choosing to manifest only from the humanness, where we're identified from the human that wants this thing because then I'll be worthy. Instead, we apply the practice of expanding our capacity to receive. Visualize a beautiful marble right at the center of your heart chakra. Start to breathe energy into that space, the Anahata chakra. And it's this emerald green energy. Emerald is so divine because it's attached to the element of abundance. And being able to tap in and tune into your innate abundance. You always have enough air to breathe. You always have enough water to drink. You have more than enough of literally everything. We have too much sometimes of some things. There's an overdoing of some things. There's even sometimes so much of an overdoing that we're actively trying to undo things in our culture, to where we're overeating and then trying to take some sort of a diet pill or a peptide to make us stop overeating. There's so much excess, and then there's also an essence of trying to suppress that excess. So just allow yourself in this moment to recognize this beautiful energy in the center of your heart, and just ask yourself, where in my life am I keeping my heart space small by either overdoing or suppressing a part of myself? Or even deeper than that, what parts of you are the ones that are telling the story of, I need to overdo this, or I need to stop overdoing this, I need to suppress this? Go deep and have a conversation with yourself. Notice that your soul perspective is still here, watching you from the upper corner of the room, watching you trying to figure this out. We really got to figure this out. We've been in this pattern for so long, and each part is talking to each other about this, that, and the other thing that we need to do. And your soul is just sitting there kindly, being like, sweet, divine, beautiful human self, you are perfect as you are. And it's the stories that you're perpetuating, that you're playing over and over again, that are keeping you stuck in the pattern. And what it is that you are literally the divine embodiment of God, of the goddess, of the energy that creates worlds. And you have the power to create everything in your life. And as you listen to your soul perspective now for the next few breaths, allow your soul perspective speak to all the parts of yourself to get direct, specific information from your own personal soul about what your parts need to hear right now. open can you be? How free can you be? How open can you be? Bringing your breath awareness back to the Anahata chakra, the heart space, glowing, gorgeous, emerald, sparkly gold and platinum energy spiraling around the heart space. And you start to notice that this beautiful marble inside of your heart has started to expand. And it's become about the size of a golf ball. And from this place of realizing and knowing that you already have everything that you need, that there's nothing outside of you that you need to reach for. There's no credential, there's no business that you need to start to become worthy. There's no amount of people that you need to influence to be able to be your soul self. You already are that. You already are that. How free can you be? And as you continue to breathe and you continue to funnel good energy into that heart space, and you continue to listen to what your soul has to say, the vibrational space in the heart, that's your capacity to be able to receive, becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. Continue your soul conversation with all of the parts of yourself. And as you breathe into that space, notice the depths and how far you can go. How free can you be? Continuing those long, deep, expansive breaths, expanding the heart space, expanding your capacity to receive. With all of this work, you're regulating your nervous system. You're allowing yourself to feel safe within your body. And through that safety, there's no overaction or overreaction. Meaning that you're able to sit into the present moment to ponder what's going on, to be able to allow the right answer to come to you instead of searching for it with a blindfold on and your hands tied behind your back. Taking a moment to call to mind whatever the current thing is that your mind is wondering about on the daily basis. The most prominent thing that you're kind of searching for an answer for. And now allow yourself to feel the energetics of your heart. Notice if when you pulled this tab up in your mind of this energetic situation, if your heart space maybe started to feel a little bit smaller and a little bit less able to receive. Don't judge or try and change it. Maybe you notice that your heart space feels super open and it's going to be really easy to expand and receive this answer. No matter how you're feeling, just witness it. Because it's about becoming the observer of the way that your nervous system and that your body is reacting to the thought that you're thinking. Because every single cell in your body is listening to every single thought that you're thinking. And they're having a reaction. They're literally manifesting symptoms towards whatever thought patterns you're choosing. So in this moment, instead of trying to think about what is my best case scenario for this thing, how can I manifest the highest timeline, can you instead tap in and tune back into your heart space and start to breathe even deeper into your heart space, breathing in through your nose, audible exhale, in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Find your own pace, find your own count, and let your soul perspective count it for you. Breathe into the heart space, fill it up, shiny, emerald, gorgeous, anahata energy. Open, open, open. Open more, expand more, breathe deeper. Noticing the energetics of your heart space. You may feel buzzing in the body, goosebumps, chills, the energetics of universal source within and around you. Know that all of your angels and universal source energy, your ancestors, your guides of the highest truth and compassion, all of the elementals, the fairies and the dragons from all the timelines are here performing a cleansing and a healing on your body because you are open to receiving it. Because you are open. You are the essence of the love frequency. You don't need an answer because you don't have a question. Because you are consciousness, witnessing consciousness, witnessing consciousness, witnessing consciousness. And so from this place of not needing an answer because you don't have a question, you've beaten the game. And now you'll notice if there are a part or two that will come up and say, but wait, I still haven't figured this out. But that doesn't give me any actionable steps to be able to do this, that, or the other thing. Or I'm still confused about X, Y, Z. And now that's beautiful. And your soul says, thank you so much, beautiful parts, because this is all very, very good contrast that we are going to be able to activate and bring forth and manifest into the physical for you. For the highest good of all. That's the key here. So what is going to be the highest good for all parties involved? What is the highest good for all? And now the reason it's the most important to not manifest from the human self, because the human self is usually going to be calibrated to a particular timeline that the human, mostly ego perspective, is going to think that's going to make it happy. And in the having of whatever that thing is, then I'll be happy. So if you're creating a manifestation and you're calibrating to a humanness timeline for whatever that manifestation is, you're most likely going to attract a vibrational solution that will calibrate you to the timeline that you're on, right? So if you're manifesting an answer to your question, but you're calibrated to the 3D or even the 4D, you're going to get an answer that's going to calibrate you to keep you in the 3D and the 4D. But what do we actually want? We would prefer to be in the 5D. the highest frequency version possible at this time. So what does that look like? It looks like releasing, letting go, allowing, and expanding your capacity to receive. So you continue that breath. You continue to expand the capacity to receive, and you let go and you allow. And it's just like in the stock market. When there's a bunch of hype behind a particular stock, especially if it's made its way to the mainstream news, by that point, the stock has hit an all-time high. It's done most of what it's going to do already. And so people FOMO in to the top, right? Because they're like, oh, this is a good idea. I should buy into this. But the majority of the lucrative buying in has already been done, and now you're buying the top. And then what's going to happen is all the people who got in at the bottom are going to actually be able to get out at the top. And so the people who bought at the top are now still in, but the stock has gone lower. And so what does this demonstrate with the workings of the mind? Is that your soul knows. Your soul knows the moment that some sort of an area of your life is going to skyrocket, and it immediately buys all of the stock possible. But your human self isn't privy to this information until it says, let's say, hits the mainstream news. And then your human self throws all of its money in right at the top because its ego wants something and it wants it to go even higher, but you don't even realize that your soul already got in at the bottom and has rode this energetics all the way up, but you haven't been privy to this information. So this takes us to this day that we're in today, which is February 29th, which means it's a leap year, which means this is a quantum timeline portal to leap forward into the next dimensional realm. And this is your moment to get into the stock that is your life right here, right now, with your soul at the birth of the moment, right before this particular manifestation goes to the moon. Because you already know about it. You're here with your soul right now, having a conversation with your soul. So your human is relaxed. Your human isn't unconsciously thinking about this, that, and the other thing, all of this other stuff that really doesn't matter, and then is going to then hear from somebody else that this thing is going to pop and then throw all of it FOMO into the top. No, you're already here, right now. Maybe you FOMO'd into the top of a few things that didn't really go so well in your life, but you're tapped in, tuned in, turned on right now. You are here with your soul. Visualize that transcendence trend. And if you've ever looked at Apple's chart, it's basically a flat line for years until then, boom, it skyrockets. And so you are Apple. You are at the moment right now with your soul, ready, so excited, knowing that everything that you've done up until this point has given you all of the insight that you need to be a human, right? Because all of the information that you've learned so far has been very important because it's created the structure that allows you to live within physicality. But now you can let go of the humanness and you can let your soul speak for you. You can channel the innate intelligence, the universal source energy that's within you. And you can ride this beautiful, divine portal of a timeline straight to the moon. Allow your soul to speak to you about what's coming next. Continuing to expand your capacity to receive. Breathing in through the nose. Audible exhale. Receiving all of the love and light frequencies. Knowing that everything is right on schedule. Feeling into the vibration of the here and now. What a beautiful moment it is to be so safe in your body, to be activating your parasympathetic nervous system, strengthening your ability to rest and digest everything that's been going on in your life, and allowing yourself to receive that capacity to receive. Going into the heart space, visualizing the heart marble that turns into a golf ball, into a tennis ball size, into a basketball size, and continues to expand outwards, continuing to breathe into that space. Outwards, open, 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 open to receiving all of the beautiful, bountiful blessings. Continuing to expand out, 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 being as bright and as radiant as the sun. All of that space is within you. You connecting to your childlike, playful energy in your radiance, in your beauty, in your gifts, in your talents, on your highest timeline. And with all of that expansiveness inside of you, you realize that you actually don't need anything outside of you. And every single day moving forward, you'll start to hear your soul say, we have everything we need and more. All here within us. This is us, universal source. And because you are the radiance, the light of the sun, and your ability to receive is as expansive and as huge as the sun, you know that the next step is to minimize to maximize. Because as you let go of the stuff that's no longer a vibrational match to this new timeline, the stock that is you will go to the moon a lot faster. So this is about, now that you've expanded your capacity to be able to receive, to be open, now you're going to notice, okay, there's actually some stuff that I'm holding on to. These things that I've been carrying around with me vibrationally in the form of thoughts, in the form of patterns and habits and routines and rituals that are maybe not of my highest or greatest good at this time. And then in physicality, when you walk around your space and you look in your bathroom and you realize that there are things here that are representative of a 3D version of yourself, and you choose to not judge or try and change yourself, but to, with that essence of great expansive energy, to be able to know that you have the capacity to receive, you then are able to release the things that are no longer a vibrational match to your timeline. And this is something that is so deeply rooted in our culture, because it's the when I have this thing that I'll be happy syndrome, that we're accumulating all of these things. And you'll see it show up a lot with beauty products. I need this thing to be able to make myself look a certain way. I need to get artificial nails put onto my body so that I can be okay with the way that my hands look. I need to dye my hair. I need to do all of these things. And then when we come back into equilibrium, into our wholeness, and we realize that our capacity to receive is as big as the sun, we don't need all of that excess, extra stuff that we're leaking our energy, paying to have chemicals put onto our bodies, paying to calibrate to a lower dimensional plane frequency that says that I'm not whole, I'm not worthy as I am, giving our power away to structures that have created massive amounts of wealth based on making us feel like we're not good enough. Allow that to sit and have a conversation with your soul and the parts of yourself that maybe don't feel worthy and are maybe reaching for things outside of you to try and feel worthy. And notice how that relates to your capacity to be able to receive. Continuing to feel into this excited energetic that says, I don't need all of this extra stuff outside of me to be able to be my soul self. My soul is alive and awake, and my human is blended with my soul. And from this place of vibrational alignment, I know that I can show up as who I really am. And from that place of all of us showing up as who we really are and being excited about being souls in bodies and not reaching for things outside of ourselves to try and feel worthy, we're releasing this collective need to try and make ourselves look perfect. Because it's the feeling like you're not looking good enough to show up that's stopping you from showing up. And it's draining your resources. You're thinking, well, if I looked this way, then I would be able to do this thing. And then you're not showing up to do whatever the thing is. When your soul the entire time is saying, you're perfect as you are, dear one. Go forth and inspire. Because if everybody who's going forth to inspire is calling on all of these things to try and create a certain aesthetic, we're holding our culture, we're holding the people on this planet back because we're creating a standard of beauty that is so unnecessary and so contrasting to our soul's perspective, which says, you're perfect as you are, dear one. So collectively, let's take a big deep breath to just let all of that go. Breathe it in. Inhale, 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 inhale. Hold the breath. Feel this moment. Feel your wholeness. Audible exhale. Let it go. Allow the breath to be neutral. Feel the beautiful essence of your soul. Feel the shedding that has taken place energetically already. This inspiration that you have to take the next step to release that thing. And know that it doesn't matter how long it takes. You saw me about maybe like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 weeks ago talking about the whole nails thing and the colored hair thing. And I was still sitting here with nails and colored hair. And now I'm sitting here having gone through a whole timeline portal to where I've taken the action that I needed to take to bring myself back into alignment, into the embodied Christina joy, who I am, who I always have been, and who I'm becoming. Quantum timeline leaping, having mirror work conversations with baby Christina and future quantum timeline Christina in this space of wholeness to where I'm ready to receive. And we're exactly the same. We are exactly the same. And I've gone through this cycle many, many times. And every single time I come to this same conclusion. And every single time I come to it in a more grounded, sovereign, embodied way. And so what is the nature of a cycle? We're going through these patterns. We're living out literally a cycle in every single aspect, from the patterns and the thought loops in our minds, to the day cycle that we experience, to the weekly cycle we experience, to the monthly cycle that we experience, to the seasons we're experiencing, to the years that we're experiencing, and decades, and so on and so forth, and soul timelines. It's all just an ever-evolving, always expanding variation of your capacity and willingness to be able to expand your receptive mode energy that lies within your anahata, your heart chakra. It is all your ability to know how beautiful and gifted and talented and magnetic you are. And it's never coming from a place of specialness. It's never, I'm the favorite or I'm the best. It's always, we are all one. It's unity consciousness. It's an ability to know that everyone has the capacity to reach a level of connection with universal source, the God of your own understanding. Everyone has that. And innately, that's the only thing that you'll take with you after you go. And you're racking up vibrational karma on each end. And it's not that you're racking up negative karma if you're doing something bad because you're a bad person and that bad things are then going to happen to you. It's because that's the way that you can learn. It is the great structure of the way that life is that you'll start to notice as you put nails on your physical body, over time, your nails will accrue negative karma, meaning your nail beds and your nails themselves become brittle and dry. And so what does that mean? From the contrast of knowing what you don't want, you get clear on what you do want. What do you want? You want every single cell in your body to be a vibrational yes, to be able to receive. And in order for you to be able to receive, you need to know that you're whole and complete as you are. And in order to be in the receptive mode of that healing, you must understand that negative karma is actually your best case scenario, and it's what your soul wants. When the soul comes in with negative karma, it means that the soul has chosen the exact timeline, the exact people to meet up with, the exact stories to play out to be able to unravel that karmic DNA. And so with the nails example, it's that then you take off the nails and you nurture your nails by taking in high quality supplements and nourishing your body and oiling the nail beds and doing all of these beautiful sacred practices, not to be like, oh, I can't believe I got into this pattern again and now I have to fix these shitty nails. It's what a divine assignment it is to be in this body, to be healing my body. It's the same thing with the hair. You over dye your hair is going to be dead. You're going to have to chop it all off. Maybe you'll still be able to be blonde, but your hair is going to be really short. And the body keeps the score. So these are just physical examples, but these are things that go on for everything. With relationships in your life, with businesses that you have, with projects that you're working on, there's going to be some sort of an energetic karma that you've built up from your past that now you have the opportunity to untangle and to alchemize into the most beautiful gifts that literally you've ever been able to receive, because your capacity to receive keeps becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Feeling into the energy of celebration, nation. Knowing that you are powerful, you are magnetic, you are expansive, you are embodied wholeness. You are universal source energy. You are a soul in a body. You have manifested force into the physical to have fun. Breathe in. Hold the breath at the top. Feel this embodied, expansive, bright as the sun energy. All of our angels are dancing within and around us. Audible exhale. All the air out. Breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out more, breathe out more. Hold the breath. Feel this clear space. Let the breath be neutral. Let your mind and your body integrate all of the downloads, feeling all of the timelines merge, feeling your soul completely here, embodied with you. Your soul comes from the top corner of the room and comes right back into your body, right through the heart space. And it's like a ricochet. It's a beautiful ripple effect. The heart ripples outward and outward and outward and outward as the soul drops right in. And with this blended energy, your soul and your physical body, go ahead and just think about a few aspects that you're super mega excited about to minimize to maximize as you enter the new month of March. How are you going to attune to your highest timeline from your soul's perspective for the highest good of all? Not from the egoic place of I need to do this because XYZ, but from your soul's perspective for the highest good. Center pointed awareness to the third eye space and the heart space. Bringing the air in through the nose, up into the third eye, and then shoot it down into the heart space as you continue to breathe in. That energy goes in, up, and then in and down to the heart space. With each inhale that you take, allow yourself to really visualize that air going in, up, cleanse the mind, and then down into the heart space and circle around. And as you exhale, you bring that energy up through the heart space, up into the beautiful space between the eyes, and then you exhale it out. Following that cleansing path, that healing vibration of bringing air in and out. And as you're doing that, you're contemplating from your soul's perspective, how can we show up in a way that is going to manifest the highest good for all? So you're cleansing out the mind, and you're clearing out the heart space with each exhale, and you're bringing new vibrational healing energy into the body with each inhale. And as you're performing this energetic clearing, what you're gonna start to notice is there's gonna be some things that come in to say, this is a thing that we need to minimize in order to maximize. Your heart, the anahata energetic frequency, combined with your soul, combined with your third eye, will be able to come together at this time to do this process of elimination. What projects, what things are you doing out of trying to please somebody else that you can release, that you can let go of? What can you minimize to maximize your own soul's personal journey? What is it that you are here to do? What does that look like for you? How free can you be? How much can you trust yourself? How can you stay in alignment with your highest 5D timeline? How free can you be? Continuing that beautiful breath, breathing in the nose, up to the third eye, into the heart. Breathing out, out of the heart, into the third eye, out of the nose. Minimizing to maximize. Taking a moment to focus on what it is that's come through as the thing that you need to minimize. And having so much love and compassion and so much grace around this thing, because it was something that maybe served you in the past, maybe even is still serving you right now in some ways. And so to have so much gratitude and have so much excitement that this thing took place, that of course maybe now needs to be minimized because it served its purpose. It did its job. And now you're able to let it go with ease, with so much excitement and so much appreciation. To be able to maximize, what is this new thing that's coming in? What is this new vibration on the stock chart that is you, that is really about to maximize? That you want to be on board for, that you don't want to be distracted by this other thing that's holding you to a lower timeline, right? So that you can be with your soul for the whole ride up on this journey. How can you be so in tune to that? It's by letting go the thing that's not a vibrational match. Having so much gratitude and appreciation for it, but by gently releasing it to call in the next phase. And knowing that all of that beautiful divine guidance is always with you. visualizing a day in your life. What do you wear? How does it feel to be living out this vibrational, going to the moon energy of the stock chart that is you? Rising and thriving, showing up, glowing up, taking the aligned action, being in your energy, your soul frequency, showing up and glowing up. Always having an open heart to minimize, to maximize, to move forward, to leap into your next timeline. It doesn't take time, it takes alignment. What are you calibrated to? That's the question to ask yourself in every single moment. Where am I calibrated? What story am I telling? How is my karma from my past influencing what happens to me in the now? How am I going to burn that negative karma off to move forward and create new positive karma, which then expedites my manifestations because I've been living in alignment? And it's that energetic of expediting your evolution, of racking up positive karma, that brings you towards the things that your soul came here to do, because your karma is the energetics that you've racked up, but your dharma is your life path and the thing that you came here to do. So anything that is taking you back and taking you away from your soul's true path is creating negative karma. And anything that is bringing you forth and propelling you forward is creating positive karma. And the positive karma bolsters your success, so it gives you even more momentum on your soul's timeline. So if you're feeling stuck, it might be because you're stuck in a karmic loop and you're adding more doubt, because doubt slows and faith speeds. When you have faith in yourself, you're actively searching for positive aspects and you're receiving them. When you don't have faith in yourself, you're reaching for outside sources of things to try and feed off of to be able to sustain whatever it is that you think that your ego needs to sustain to be able to be happy. So right here, right now, with this awareness and with this understanding, make a promise to yourself. Your own personal, specialized promise, your soul and your human. Make that pact right now. Feeling so safe and supported and so trusting of yourself. This energetic of knowing that you're safe in your body, that you're safe in your soul container, that your soul always has a place to be within you, within your heart space that is so expansive and so profound and so beautiful and so magnetic and so loving. The capacity to receive. Receiving all of the love from Universal Source, all of our guides of the highest truth and compassion, all of our ancestors. Feeling the energy of your soul within your body. Start to make small movements with your fingertips and your toes. sway gently from side to side. Make any movements that you need. You might hug your knees in towards your chest. Feeling this integration back into the physical. You may blink your eyes open, look around the space that you're in. Feel into the energetics of time and space, that maybe your eyes were open before, you went into this deep trance state, and now you've opened your eyes and the sun has kind of done its thing and kind of set. If you're on Pacific time, just start to recognize and witness and realize the physicality of your body, of this beautiful soul container. I'd like to make a huge, super mega congratulations to you guys, because that was a beautiful full hour transcendental meditation that you just did. So that's a really, really big deal. A lot of quantum rewiring of the mind, really big upgrades energetically, massive timeline leaps. And so I want you to make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. Water is going to be so massive, because the water that you're drinking is actually expediting the evolution of consciousness, because as it comes into your body, you're raising the frequency of the water and then you're excreting it out, which means that that water is more evolved than it was before you had it. So not only are you evolving your own body by drinking water and cleansing and clearing everything you no longer need, but you're also evolving the system that is literally the massive planet that we're living on. And also, super mega congratulations to our February winners, you guys. This was such a close one. It's nuts. You guys are so, so good. I'm going to pull up my note here. So, and first place and second place are going to be interchangeable from now on. It used to be that first place was like the business call with the shared screen, and second place was the breathwork call, but they're both an hour long. So that's going to be time that's used however you want. We could do 30 minutes of like divine manifestation for your own personal life, 30 minutes of business, whatever you want, because that's kind of how we've already been doing it anyways. So to preface that, first and second place are both hour-long calls, and they can be used however you'd like. And first place is Sarah. This, I feel like, has been a long time coming, because Sarah has been super prominent and going off in everything, but this is the first time she ever actually tracked her points. So yes, Sarah, congratulations. This is so, so good. I'm so excited to hop on your call with you. And we have Kira, my girl, who's literally running her challenge in second place right now. So Sarah was at 340, Kira was at 304, and then Amanda is at 218. You're so great, darling. And she is going to have the 30-minute phone call. So the first two are hour-long Zoom calls where you can share your screen with me, or we can do a breathwork healing, and obviously the third one is the phone call, the 30 minutes. So you guys, the prizes are the same going forward into March, but there is a new beautiful point tracking system, and this system is more about you minimizing to maximize in every area of your life. And we have a beautiful Canva graphic that shows you all the different aspects of your life, from your bathroom to your kitchen to your bedroom and your closet, and all of these different areas of your physicality life that you can look around and see, is this a 3D product? Am I keeping this in my bathroom just because it still has stuff in it? Like, I need to get rid of this. I need to let go of anything that's calibrating me to a lower dimensional plane, right? So you give yourself the opportunity to every single day let go of what you no longer need, and you're gonna get daily points based on not only doing a check-in, instead of doing just like a daily random check-in, it's gonna be, what did you minimize to maximize your life today? So what did you get rid of? Maybe you take a picture of like a pile of things that you're donating, right? And you send it to the group. And I set it up so that it's weekly. So the first week would be your bathroom. So going through different sections of your bathroom stuff. So like stuff you do with your hair, stuff you do with your nails. I know a few of us took our nails off. So that's really exciting. So really just every single day coming in with something exciting to share that you've minimized to raise your frequency to a higher state of consciousness, to be in your soul perspective more often than not. And then of course there's other little things on there that you can do to gather your points, showing up for the calls, obviously, comments on YouTube videos, obviously, all of those things are listed on there, and I'm going to place them into the text box inside of where this recording is going to live, inside of Teachable.